Happy summer, everyone, and happy Monday. My name is Allison, and I'm a volunteer with cdck, and welcome to our July adoption event. I am also joined, as always, by the fabulous Mila, who is another volunteer and who coordinated this event and is helping behind the scenes. And today, as always, we have some incredible foster dogs for you to meet, and I'm so excited to get to speak with their wonderful fosters. But before we meet them, just our usual spiel to give you a bit of background. City Dogs and City Kitties Rescue is located in Washington, D.C., and we're a nonprofit organization that rescues animals in overcrowded and under-resourced shelters. And we don't have a physical shelter, which means that all of our adoptable dogs are with fosters in their home, as you'll see today. And so far, we have rescued over 10,000 animals, and of course, we're continuing to save more. You can find us at the usual social media platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and that's at City Dogs Rescue. And our website is citydogsrescuedc.org. That's dogs plural. And on that website, which for good measure is citydogsrescuedc.org, you can donate and find fundraisers. You can inquire about dogs, whether it's the ones you'll meet today or any of our other adoptable dogs. And you can find information about volunteering and about applying to foster, which is great because we really do always need more fosters, especially since we really depend on our fosters to allow us to be able to continue rescuing more dogs. We also have some fabulous in-person events if you'd like to meet some of our adoptable dogs there. In fact, we have a fundraiser and adoption event coming up on July 30th at Crooked Run Fermentation in DC. And I also wanted to thank our amazing fosters, both those who are on the call and those who are not, who really do such important work. Oftentimes, these dogs are coming straight from the shelters, and our fosters really and truly put in the time and effort to get them acclimated to life in a home. So thank you all. And of course, please feel free to ask questions in the chats on Facebook and YouTube, and we will do our best to get to them. So with all of that being said, thank you so much, everyone, and let's finally get started. So up first, we have Ace, who's being fostered by Celeste. And Ace is a male pit bull bulldog mix. He's about 7 months old and about 30 pounds. So welcome to Celeste and Ace. Celeste, I know we met Ace last month, but would you mind, for those who are tuning in for the first time, giving us a bit of background on Ace?
Sure. So he's been with us about 5 weeks, and he is learning how to be part of the pack. He's doing really well. He is now completely housebroken. So check that box for him. And he is on a leash, and he's walks on his leash, and knows how to sit for his dinner, knows how to eat his treats, and he's doing really well. He's a good dog. He's got good puppy energy, and he's got good puppy naps. He knows how to nap. He knows how to sleep through the night. He knows, when I say it's time to go to bed, he goes outside, does his business, comes back in, and we go to sleep. And so he's done really, really well in the 5 weeks that I've had him. So I'm very excited for him. He's done very well with socializing, loves other dogs, very curious about other dogs, wants to play with the cats in the house, the resident cats. And he's an eater. He's a good boy. Good boy. He really is. He's a good dog. Nice dog.
That's great.
Just as friendly and happy as he can be.
And you can tell, that's wonderful. You can tell just from watching him now. And what would you say is Ace's favorite thing to do?
His favorite thing to do is, depending on the time of day, in the morning, he gets his energy out. He loves, we take a walk in the morning. He does about an hour in the morning on a walk. And he loves the outside. He loves being outdoors. He would be wonderful for an individual or a family that's big outdoors. Loves to take them on walks, wants to go on hikes, wants to explore. He's constantly looking around. He loves watching the squirrels and the bunny rabbits, in the neighborhood. They're all over the place. And he's loves meeting new people and new dogs. So he's I think being outside is his favorite thing to do. I think so. Yeah.
That's great. He sounds very adventurous. We love an outdoors dog. That's great.
Oh yeah, no, he is not a couch potato. except at night. Like I've gotten him to the point where by the end of his day, he has his dog bed, he lays down in it. He
Oh,
knows, yeah, gets his bone, and he's very good. For those people listening who have been through infants, they'll know when I say he's a self-soother. So he knows how to lay down with his bone and just chill and, relax at night. And he's really good about that. So
I love that. No, thank you for
yeah.
sharing that. That's wonderful. The best of both worlds. He's adventurous and has energy, but can also calm down at night. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and he calms himself down again, which is such a big thing for people with that are working or coming in at night. He gets himself situated and relaxes. I will say the funniest thing that he has going for him, when he hears a dog on TV, he reacts to it. It's pretty funny. My other dogs could care less if there's a dog on TV, but Ace hears it and he's straight at the television.
That's amazing. He's very perceptive. That's great. I love that. And right now, what is Ace's favorite toy, would you say?
So rings, because he'll grab a hold of the ring. You want to play? He'll grab it. He's interested in the treats, but he loves to play with his rings, and he'll bring them to you. So he'll go get his rings and bring them to you, and basically say, "I want to play tug of war." And he's gotten really good at it. So that would be his favorite toy at the moment.
Oh, I love that. But it's great that he's food motivated too, it seems.
Oh,
He's focused on the
absolutely.
treat.
Which is why he's been pretty good to train. Yeah.
Huge.
So he's treat motivated. He's a good eater, and is really healthy. Got a beautiful coat, beautiful face. I think, for those who are maybe thinking about, would he be too big of a dog? I don't think so. I don't think he's going to get really big. I would say at the most, maybe 45 to 50 pounds, which if others think that's a big dog, I don't. So he's not going to be a particularly large dog. I don't think, not going to be tall. He's got big paws, but he's not, I don't know if you guys can see him sitting there like a good boy.
Oh, so good. Look at those ears.
I know. He is absolutely a dream. He really is a nice pup.
That's great. And
what
do you think
we're bringing him to the meet and greet, or the fundraiser next Sunday. He'll be there. Yeah.
That's great. Yes. Again, that's July 30th. That's wonderful. And Celeste, what do you think Ace's ideal forever family looks like?
I think, like I said, outdoors. Folks who love, want to go outdoors, want to take him on hikes, want to go for walks with him outside. He's really in his element outside, and he just enjoys. I open the door, let him in the backyard, and he just walks around and smells the plants and the flowers, and wants to dig in the dirt a little bit. He's not a big digger, just enough to kind of see what's there and then move on. So he's a good boy, and he likes to go outside even in this heat and just lay out there. He'll just go outside and lay down, take a snap outside.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's big outdoors and enjoys it. So
that's great. And is there anything else you'd like to tell us about Ace? You've been giving us so much great information.
He's just such a fun dog, and my youngest son is home from college this summer and has just had a great time with Ace. Like he's a snuggler, gets up on the sofa with him, and they take naps together, because that's what you do when you're in college. And they just take naps together on the sofa. And so Ace has really been just great to have around, and my son has really enjoyed being with him. So that's just so someone a little bit younger, just a 20-year-old, loves being with him and playing with him and taking him out. So
that's awesome. Well, thank you so much to you both for joining us. And for those of you out there who would like to learn more about this very special puppy, Ace, you can go to his special link at cdck.cc. adoptbella.cc/adoptace. That's ACE. Thank you so much, Celeste. And thanks, Ace, for being a very good
Thank
boy.
you. He's a great dog.
He's wonderful. We love it. All right. So up next, we have Baxley, who is being fostered by Erin. And Baxley is a male Labrador retriever. He's about 2 years old and about 43 pounds. Oh, there we go. And Baxley again was with us last month. So I'm very curious to hear what changes you've seen in Baxley, Erin, since last time we met. Oh, there he is. So to start, can you start by just telling us a little bit about him?
Sure. He is a very sweet boy. He's very playful and loyal and goofy. He's great with other dogs and with people. He's very popular when we go out on walks. People love to pet him. Other dogs like to stop and say hello to him, and he's always very gentle and polite and always very happy to see other dogs. I'm not exactly sure where he comes from, but I don't think he comes from an urban environment. So we've been doing a lot of work to get him acclimated to living in an urban environment, and he's doing much better. He still gets kind of spooked by loud buses and trucks, but he seems to get more comfortable every day and every week in our part of the city, and he's doing really well.
That's wonderful. And thank you so much, again, for working with him and getting him acclimated. A lot of these dogs are coming from rural environments, or at least they haven't been in a city. So you're doing such wonderful work. It's amazing. And what do you think an ideal day looks like for Baxley?
He loves to play as soon as we get up. He plays with my other dog, Shirley, while we get breakfast ready. Then we go outside. He loves to go to the park. We go there most days in the morning and the afternoon when we can. There are lots of other dogs at the park often, so he gets to run around and play with other dogs, which is one of his very favorite things to do. When we get back, I work from home, so I do get to hang out with him all day long. He likes to nap while I'm working, and he has a bunch of toys, chew toys, so he kind of just chooses his favorite ones, and he will alternate between napping and chewing on his toys, playing with Shirley. In the evenings, we take another walk. He gets to play with other dogs at the park again. He has dinner, and then we all like to snuggle up while I read or watch a movie.
That sounds amazing. And I look at him, I love how affectionate he is. Now he likes to be close to you. So sweet.
Yeah, he does.
That's great. And can you share any recent stories about Baxley? Anything funny or something that you think best represents his personality, something that sums it up?
Sure, yeah. So one of my favorite things about him is that he is so excited to see me after any amount of time apart. And just yesterday, I went out to check the mail, and when I came back in, he greeted me like I had been gone all day, but we had seen each other like 2 or 3 minutes before that. So I thought that was really sweet.
I love that. Yeah, talk about affectionate. There you go. That's amazing. Yeah. And we'll get a nice look at his coloring. He's beautiful. Yeah, wow. And Erin, what do you think Baxley's ideal forever home looks like?
I think Baxley would do really well in a home with one or more other dogs. Ideally somewhere a bit quieter than we are here in the heart of the city. It would be great if Baxley lived somewhere near a park so he could walk and run and play with other dogs every day.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And finally, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about Baxley?
Yeah, One of the things that was really hard for him when he first came here was separation anxiety. He would cry, and it was really painful to leave him alone for any amount of time. He had to be in the crate because he would chew if he weren't supervised, but he is doing great now. I'm not stressed out at all about leaving at home for any amount of time. He doesn't cry anymore. His separation anxiety is just gone. So I think he's relaxed and is able to chill out and play with his toys while I'm gone. And then, as I mentioned, he's always really happy when I come back.
I love that. That's wonderful. That's amazing how much he's grown. And again, as I said, thank you for working with him on that, on separation anxiety. That's a common issue, you know, and it's important to address it. So thank you. So if you out there would like to meet Baxley or possibly take him home, you can go to his very special link at cdck.cc/adoptbaxley. That's BAXLEY. Thanks so much, Erin, and thanks so much, Baxley. All right, so up next, we have Bella, who's being fostered by Norman. Bella is a female coonhound and treeing walker mix. She's about 2 years old and about 43 pounds. So do we have Bella here? Ah, there she is. Thanks for joining us.
She's
So just
try to get her up in the chair.
That's perfect. We have a great view.
That'll work. So this is Bella. As you said, she's a coonhound, a treeing walker mix, which we've never heard of before. And she didn't have her voice at first, but gradually she's gotten her coonhound voice, and we do hear it on occasion, which is kind of neat. But she was a rescue back in the end of June. So there was a Southwest Virginia trip that they needed another hound covered. And so we have an infinity for hounds, having a hound mix ourselves, and sort of our heart went out. And we picked up Bella.
Amazing. Well, thank you for fostering her. That's wonderful. And what are some of Bella's favorite activities?
So she definitely loves to be outside. I think that's a common theme. She loves our neighborhood. We're just in Alexandria, but we have a lot of squirrels and foxes and deer, and she definitely is engaged. And it's funny, her nose definitely puts our other rescues to shame. We have a pointer and we have a hound, and 50 yards, 100 yards before they recognize anybody's in the area, she'll definitely pick up the scent. And if they're now reacting to her, sort of noting animals in the area and barking as a result. So definitely likes to be outside. She loves to woods and trails. That will keep her distracted. It's kind of interesting, early on, she wasn't really like the normal toys and balls and pool toys didn't really draw her attention, but as she's gotten more comfortable in the house, those have kind of come to the fore. I think in part because she's seen the resident dogs react to that and sort of understands a bit better of what's going on there. And so now you're seeing she's 2 years old, but still a little puppy-like at times. And so you'll see her pounce, and she's kind of learned what the ball's about. And so when you sort of throw the ball to her, and she'll bring it back without asking, which is a shock and awesome because the resident dogs don't do that. But I think she definitely doesn't seem to have had the exposure to, kind of the normal dog toys and expectations. And I think over the weeks that we've had her, she's slowly gaining that and feeling a little more comfortable.
That's amazing. It's really special to be able to watch that transformation, and thanks for help making it happen. That's, I love hearing that. And that sort of leads me into my next question, which you've sort of touched on, but how has Bella been adjusting to your home?
It's been a little slow. It was definitely early on. She was quiet. She was reserved. But each day is a little bit more. I'll sort of epitomize it to say. So now she sleeps downstairs with her daughter. Kind of, she's become our daughter cuddle buddy. And the resident dogs, the rescues that we have, sleep in our bed. And when they wake up, and sort of Bella hits the fall. My daughter's downstairs, and when she hears the falls hit the floor, she's like beelining upstairs, and there's a cacophony or a symphony of hey, I'm ready to go outside. So I think she's definitely finding her voice. You see her personality much more. Where I think at first she was a little, taking everything in, kind of quiet about it. We didn't hear her bark for the first few days, and slowly she's becoming more and more assertive, and you're seeing her personality come out. There was some early stuff with. Well, first of all, I think she's really curious about what we're doing and what the other dogs are doing and what we're doing. If she's going to shadow at times to sort of figure that out. But she's also warmed up to the residents. Well, we have one hound that's been a little standoffish. But our pointer, even though early on they were not affectionate or maybe didn't seek each other out, what we're seeing more and more is that Bella's laying within a few feet of the pointer. So definitely warming up and sort of forming that bond with the resident dog as well.
That's great. That's so nice to hear. And that she gets along with dogs. That's wonderful. And that she's figuring it all out. I love it. And you mentioned that Bella has been your daughter's buddy. Just to kind of explore that a little bit more, how does Bella do around other people, like children or teenagers?
So really good. Because we have two resident dogs, and as I said, the hound's been a little standoffish. And so we slowed down the introduction between the two. And as a result, we keep her with us most of the time. So we haven't left her alone with the other dogs. They're fine in the house when everyone's together, but we didn't feel comfortable leaving them all together. So we've been socializing her a ton, especially within attending swim meets. My son does outdoor swim. And so we'll sit by the entrance and sort of wait for his event. And of course, he draws all the attention of the kids and the adults. It's funny because I've identified a ton of different foster families within the swim pool community. There's foster families all over the place that have done fosters. But in general, all the kids come up to her and ask slightly if they can pet her. And say, yes, she's been awesome and she's tolerant and seems to enjoy it. I think she does a lot. She does enjoy the socialization and definitely reacts to the affection and attention and loves to be stroked and pet.
That's great. That's wonderful. And we do have a very special foster community. And, so that's nice that you've seen other foster families. I love it. And what do you think Bella's ideal forever family looks like?
So I think a dog-loving family in general would find her amazing. Since day one, she's been affectionate. It's come out in spades, even more so as we've gotten to know her and as she felt more comfortable in the environment. We've never created her, just it wasn't necessary. And she's sort of in that sweet spot of not being a puppy to not having to deal with a lot of those puppy issues of house training and the rest of it, but not being a full adult. So there's still, a little bit of leash reactiveness. And so she wasn't responsive, seemingly ever taught direction in terms of sitting or lying or anything like that. So there's definitely some patience and some work to be done there. But we've had her about a month, 4 weeks, and already she's responding to that. So clearly intelligent and wanting to be helpful and responsive to us. And so I think she definitely enjoys walks. She enjoys being outside. She does, actually, the first person who kind of taught, she does sit and lie down. She's fine overnight, so it's not like she has to be constantly walked. But she does absolutely enjoy the walks. We do a long walk in the morning, usually about an hour, and we'll do some quarter walks in the course of the day, 1 or 2 quarter walks that are probably 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And that seems to be the right balance of tiring her out and engaging around and everything else. Seems to be good with other dogs. Our one hound has not been welcoming, but our pointer, and she has been, she's 5, And actually now they seem to be warming up a little bit more. I think it's just taking in more time. But the pointer's been perfectly fine. Had some foster help on a couple nights when was been out, and she's been fine with her fosters as well, additional dogs as well. So she seems to be very welcoming to other dogs in the house. Not an issue at all.
That's wonderful. That really is such great information, and good to know, the kind of duration of walks, and, so that those out there who are listening kind of can, look at their schedules and have a reasonable expectation of, the time it takes. But Bella just seems so wonderful. And is there anything else you'd like to tell us about Bella before we let you both go?
I think just that she's a cuddler. I think our dogs are affectionate and love to, sort of sleep with us during the evening, but she takes it to the next level. It's kind of nice because our daughter is also home from college, and so she definitely had a cuddle buddy, which is awesome. Because one of our dogs will sleep downstairs in her bed during the day or sort of relax there, but then the second sort of it's bedtime, she'll come upstairs to our bed and leave her stranded. It's always been kind of a disappointment to her, and Bella has taken to that and has found her cuddle buddy and settled into that at night, and definitely is very affectionate and sort of very welcoming. But as I said, she's never been traded. Has been fine in terms of being housebroken. She does seem to respond to. I'm sorry. She has an aversion to loud noises, thunderstorms, fireworks. 4th of July wasn't a great time at the house. But aside from that, we haven't had a chance to sort of witness what she's like with separation anxiety. Don't have a inclination one way or another. Like in general, seems to be good. We just haven't met her yet. That's just a joy to be with us, and it's been super nice talk.
Oh, great. Well, thank you, Norman, and thanks to your family for fostering Bella. She seems so incredible. And Bella's in the market for another cuddle buddy. So if any of you out there would like to be her next buddy, you can visit her special link at cdck.cc/adoptbella. That's BELLA. Thank you so much again for joining us. Alrighty, so up next we have Dixie, who is actually known in our system. If you look on our website, she's listed as Chandra, but she responds to her former name, which is Dixie. So we'll stick with that for today. Dixie's being fostered by PJ. She's a female hound. She's about 4 years old and about 49 pounds. So let's see. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, can you see her? Sorry, she's taking her little post-dinner snooze here. I'm trying to.
Perfect.
But she's sleeping very peacefully right now on her big on-screen moment. She might get a little.
Look how sweet. She's perfect.
Yeah.
So, PJ, can you start by telling us a little bit about Dixie?
Sure. So as you said, Dixie's a hound mix. She's 4, so she's fully an adult. She's fully crate trained, fully house trained. Haven't really had too many issues. We think she actually is not a stray. We think she lived in I believe West Virginia beforehand. So she's very well behaved. It's been a very smooth, sort of adjustment. And yeah, I mean she's done very well. Yeah, I mean it's been a pleasure to have her.
Oh, I love it. That's great to hear. And you've already given us a wonderful description of her, but if you had to pick 3 words to best represent Dixie, what would they be?
Yeah, I would say she's sweet, she's charming, and she's well-mannered. So, I mean, she's really been pretty ideal in terms of everything I think you would want. As you can see, she is extremely cuddly. She loves jumping on us, cuddling with us. We kind of joke that she thinks she's a lap dog. She's always on our laps. She's always warm. She's always very playful as well. So she loves going outside. She loves going for walks, usually at least 2 a day. Sometimes jogs. The kind of she likes the wind in her ears. She likes racing around. So yeah, I mean she's just very positive attitude. No real behavior problems at all. She's very charming.
That's great. Those are great words. I love that. And as far as you can tell, how does Dixie do with cats and other dogs?
Yeah, sure. So our info is a little limited because we don't live with other dogs. We do live with a cat. She seems, I think at a minimum she's indifferent. At a maximum she's interested. The cat is not so. The cat is not as interested in reciprocating. She always seems to want to play. The cat is a little more standoffish. But when we're on walks and there are cats around, she's mostly kind of indifferent. It's not been an issue whatsoever. But when it comes to dogs, she's very friendly with friendly dogs. She sort of mirrors, the attitude of whatever dog is around. But even if it's a more standoffish or aggressive dog, she's easy to just, come on, Dixie, and then she'll come right on. And so it's never been an issue. But I have a feeling that, she would love to have puppy playmates and such.
Oh, that's great to know. That's wonderful. And you know what? We'll take indifferent. That's also good to hear
Yeah.
when it comes to cats. I
Yeah.
love it. And how has Dixie changed since you first met her?
Yeah, it's a good question. So, as I mentioned, it's been pretty easy, so she hasn't changed as much because she was kind of immediately, just, fit in very well. That being said, she definitely has gotten better about the whole separation anxiety thing. So, as I said, she's crate trained and she has no problem being in her crate. Once she sort of loses sight of us, once we sort of leave, at first she would kind of moan and whine, incessantly, of course. But as she's gotten kind of used to the idea that, hey, we'll be here, you'll be coming right back, that's tamped down considerably.
That's amazing. That is really great to hear. It's nice to hear that, she can adapt and she's getting used to her environment. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And what do you think Dixie's ideal forever home looks like?
Yeah, so I guess we touched on it a little
Yeah.
bit. She is very sociable, to the extent, there are other animals in the house. I think she'd appreciate it, but she's also versatile, we think she'd be good in a lot of different situations too. She likes her walks. So, if you do live in the middle of the city, we're kind of in a suburban environment, but if you're in the urban environment, just kind of make sure that she does get her outside time. Other than that, I think she would thrive in a lot of different situations.
It's great to know. Wonderful. And finally, before we let you both go, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about Dixie?
In terms of toys, she is very kind of treat and reward motivated. She loves her little Kong thing with you put the peanut butter whatever in it, and anything with treats involved. Things like playing fetch, and squeaky toys and these things. She's more interested in toys that have the possibility of a treat in there. So
That's great.
Yeah.
I love that. There are a lot of good toys like that out there. They're great. Yeah. So that's good to know. Well, thank you both so much. And for our audience, if you're looking for a sweet, charming, and well-mannered lap dog, I would say she's a lap dog. Look at that. Then you can learn more about Dixie by going to her special link, cdck.cc/adoptdixie, DIXIE. And just as a reminder, if you're going on our website, you can look for her under Chandra, CHANDRA. Thanks, PJ. Thanks, Dixie. All right. Up next, we have Goliath, who is being fostered by Thomas. And Goliath is a male Chihuahua mix, despite the name. And he is about 7 years old, and about 16 pounds. There he is. So can you tell us a little bit about Goliath to start off?
Hello. I don't have a lot of details of where he came from. I know that he was brought in from a shelter in Southern Virginia. And his previous adoption fell through because the family dog didn't take to him, which I don't know how, because our dog tolerates him as long as he doesn't get in her sleeping space and get near her food bowl. Other than that, they're good to go. As you can see, he is takes his food nicely. He is inquisitive and likes to explore. We got him. It took him a little while because I think going through the shelter to a house where he wasn't there for even a week to our house, a lot of transition. I don't believe he was ever walked on a leash before. So he takes it really slow. Once he learns a route, if I take him up and down the same streets, he'll go up and down the same street again, but on a new route, he's kind of timid, has to smell, and he likes to take his time and explore. I wouldn't see, I don't see him as being 7 years old, to be honest. He is much younger in actions. He likes toys. Well, once you finish, there's that treat there. There he is. He'll bring back a stuffed animal.
Oh,
Squeaky. Those, and now I got the treat out, so you have to pay attention to that. I would say the perfect family would be you work from home and wanted a little buddy sitting next to you, all the time. Once TV comes on and it's time to relax in the evening, he's planted on your lap and just chill. But does like to take a walk, does like to play. He'll play fetch about 6 times. You can get 6 runs out of him and then he's done.
I love it. That's great.
One of the things I really like is most little dogs, especially Chihuahuas, are known for being really yappy and barky. People will come over and he is not like that. He's just calm. I haven't heard him bark, honestly, the whole time. The most noise he makes, he does a little separation anxiety in the crate. But I figured out to leave a Kong with frozen Kong with some peanut butter.
Oh,
And
wow.
that keeps him entertained long enough to forget, I guess, that we just left. He's crated overnight, silent. He curls up, goes to sleep, does his thing. The morning, if you get up early one morning, late another morning, no big deal. He doesn't start whining all morning. He's in the crate until you take him out. So he was good. He was fostered by another a CDR volunteer this weekend because we were out of town, and she said he was great. And she just lost hers, unfortunately, and it's too soon for her. But she said otherwise she would be interested in adopting him. So yeah, he's a good. I could see him being a good little companion. Probably a home with. We have one dog he's fine with. He takes the back seat to the other dog, so I could see him being timid on walks around. Other dogs come near, he pays no attention to them. Cats, I haven't seen him react to.
Yeah.
He cowered when a group of little kids came up to him on the street, and he, instead of nipping or getting getting aggressive, he just cowered and kind of hid behind me because he didn't know what to do with them.
Right.
But yeah. I mean, he's good. He is going to be out on Sunday at 1 o'clock at the in Union Station, so Union Market. So yeah.
Great. That's wonderful. So for those of you out there who want to meet him in person, you can see him on Sunday if you're in the area. And you've already mentioned so many wonderful qualities, but if you had to pick a favorite thing about Goliath, do you think you could pick just one? And maybe, or we'll take several. You've already listed them.
We kind of nicknamed him Dora the Explorer.
I love it.
So he doesn't like I said, with walking, he doesn't like to power walk. He likes to stroll and check things out. And somebody will walk by and he'll stop and just look at him and watch him go. And he's like, okay, what's their deal? So he's pretty chill out. He just not really excitable. So that's good. If you're mellow and you want a mellow, companion, just hang out, sit in your lap, relax. He's right there.
I love that. And you had mentioned at the beginning that he's inquisitive. And so that really reflects that. That's great.
And a little smile, his little smile. Come on, smile.
So sweet. Goliath, look at that tongue. So cute. And before I let you both go, is there anything else you'd like to share with us about Goliath?
No, I hope that he gets adopted very soon because he seems to attach quick, and I don't want him to have to go through another, couple cycles. And I think it'd be better for him to find his forever home right away and just kind of settle in, and then he'll be himself and it'll be perfect. So
That's great. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of that information, and hopefully he will find his forever home soon. Thanks for being such a good boy, Goliath. For those of you out there who would like to give Goliath his forever home, you can go to cdck.cc /adoptgoliath. That's Goliath. Thank you so much to you both. It's so wonderful that you're here. And again, you can meet Goliath in person on Sunday, so that's great to know too. Thank you. Bye, Goliath. Look at that paw. I love it. Okay, so up next, we have Patty, whose foster is Bridget, and Patty is a female Labrador Retriever mix. She's about 8 months old and about 43 pounds. So hello, Patty and Bridget.
Hi, everyone. She's hanging out. So yeah, this is Patty. She came up she was on transport on last Saturday, and I've had her for a week now. So it's hard to say, other than that she was on the transport, what her background is. But she stayed with another city dog foster on Saturday until I could pick her up, and just was super affectionate with her. And then when I came to get her, or when I went out to meet her, like grab and pick her up and bring her home, just again, super like, I'm ready to go. Like, where are we going to next? So really sweet.
I love that. That's great.
Let me know if we need to adjust the camera.
No, that is a perfect
Okay,
angle. We have a perfect view of our friend Patty here. And how has she been adjusting to your home in the past week?
Oh, very well. She, I think we were a little concerned she wasn't housebroken, but she actually does really well on a schedule. So she's been doing great on that. I think because she came probably from a rural shelter, I live in the city, and so she's definitely adjusted to the noises. I'm actually not far from Union Station, so we hear the train tracks a lot, and she has adjusted really well, and wasn't even overly reactive to it, mostly just a little like, what was that? And then would go about her business. So she's been doing really well in the city.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. And how is she doing with her training?
Really well. So her, again, like there was concern about her if she was housebroken, and as long as she sticks to her schedule, she does great. And then as far as crate training, she is already crate trained. She is super comfortable in there. The only time we have any resistance or frustration is if you're trying to eat dinner. I live in a small studio, so I don't have like a formal dining area. Right. And so she can see me eat dinner, and she does not like that she is in her crate while that happens. So she lets me know. But that's about the most vocal she gets like throughout the day, if that happens.
I love it, but she makes her thoughts known. That's great. It's understandable. Oh, yeah. It's dinner, so we can understand that. That's so
like,
cute.
Hey, come on.
Exactly. It's so sweet. And what is Patty's favorite toy, as far as you can tell?
So far, it has been this like little chew bone thing that she uses because she's only 8 months, so she definitely loves to like chew on things with texture. She hasn't been like, she's pretty good at stopping. If she's like, oh, that ottoman looks delicious, she'll stop if I tell her no and redirect her to the bone, and she really likes chewing on the bone. And then we just got one of those balls that as you push the ball around, the treats release, and she loves that. Definitely anything treat based is going to get her attention.
Yeah, that's great. I think PJ had mentioned those, that any kind of, toys with treats coming out of them, that's an A+. That's wonderful and good to know for those of you out there. And what would you say her ideal forever home looks like?
She is so adaptable that I think she would just be happy with anybody who probably feels, I think ideally for her, if she could be allowed on the couch because she would love to cuddle with you. She like flops down to like lay next to you if you let her up. And so, oh, Patty.
I love it. A
Hi,
close
guys.
up. Yay.
So even now, let's see if she'll, like, when you pet her, sometimes she'll even just like flop on her back and lay down for belly rubs. So she really just wants, if she's not playing with something, she very, very much wants you to love her and pet her.
That's so
So
sweet.
that would be her ideal family. Anybody who has lots of pets to give.
Oh, so cute. I love it. And I forgot to emphasize what you said in your, last answer. It's great that she can redirect, if she starts to chew on something, that she, and you tell her to stop, she'll listen. So that's, a wonderful thing to highlight too. And finally, is there anything else you'd like to share about Patty?
Just that she also goes to daycare because of the great partnership. Oh, are you gonna do it? I always love when she like flops down and then is like, love me. She, because of your guys' great partnership with City Dogs Daycare, when I go into the office, she goes there and has really thrived with the opportunity to like socialize and get that like puppy energy out each day. Especially since she is somebody who likes walks, but she's not someone who so far has been like, oh, I need to run a couple of miles before I can settle down. Like, she's pretty mild mannered. So she's just really, I think, thrived since she's been here. So
That's so great to hear. I love that. Well, thank you so much to you both. And I also, Bridget, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Patty was sponsored by one of our community members and named after her Aunt Patty, who loved dogs. So that's so special. She carries that legacy with her. But I found that out and I thought that was very special. So that's great.
Yes.
Very sweet. Well, look at her. They're playing with toys. I love it. Well, thank you both so much for joining us. For everyone out there who would like to give Patty lots of pets like she deserves, you can go to her link at cdck.cc/adoptpatty. That's PATTY. Thank you so much. And finally, it's sad we're coming to an end, but our final dog that we are so excited to feature is Thor, who is being fostered by Sasha. Thor is a male boxer mix. He's about 2 years old and about 67 pounds. So welcome to Thor and Sasha. Thanks so much for joining us.
We've had Thor for 3 weeks. We had a 3-week anniversary yesterday. He's been a very good boy, very adjustable. Before we had him, he lived in DC. We are in like a suburban environment. So it was a change of situation for him, a change of environment. Also, we have a resident dog, an alum, cdck alum.
Wow.
Yeah, an almost 7-year-old beagle.
Oh, wow.
So they get along well, relatively, because we need to maintain the hierarchy. So Thor, being 67 pound of cuddles and energy, we have to kind of balance and match it. So far, it's been pretty successful. He's in his playful mode.
Yes.
I guess that's his favorite time. He has adjusted to our routine. I know he had different routine. He has adjusted to the different food routine, different walk routine. He came to us as an early riser, but probably because of the change of everything and a little bit of stress. But in the 3 weeks that we have had him, we managed to push it sort of to a later time by almost an hour and a half.
Oh, wow. That's great.
For some people, we take him out 3 times a day with an occasional like midday backyard break. He loves the backyard, and it's despite his come on. Despite there you go. Despite his size, can you Come down. Despite his size, he is easy to manage, as you can see, and to walk as well. Surprisingly, I can walk 2 dogs at the same time without any issue. He might get interested in a squirrel or something, but he is still very kind of easy to control. In the beginning, we had sort of a little bit of an issue with the. He's just, he's curious. He's curious about the sounds, and we have a lot of sounds in the house, and he has to check everything, and he has to look up. He loves to look out of the window, regardless of where it is. Yeah, he did have a little bit of a trouble when he gets tired or anxious. He had like leash biting situation. We're still working on it, but I can tell you that we have made a lot of progress, and he can be redirected. He now starts to understand the concept of like no, and we redirect him with training, and he responds very well to that and to the to the treats. He's very like treat motivated.
Yeah.
So like in the time that we've had him, he's learned to sit, to go down, to I can actually show. We have multiple beds for him. We have so many beds for him. That's blanket. So
It's so cute.
yeah. He knows how to go down now. We are working on over here. He does it relatively well. And what else? Come on, sorry. I just need to remove that. He loves toys, as you can see.
Yes.
Yeah, and he loves to get himself in the tiniest beds and spaces possible. He, for the first week, we tried to resist placing him on the couch. For us, it's a bit difficult because our resident dog is a couch dog.
Right.
Unfairness. Right? And he was, come on. So we resisted for a week, and then we gave up just because he loves being with you. He loves being sort of very close to you. He loves, especially in the evenings and during the day. He is sort of a mixed character dog. After we walk him in the morning, he usually has 40 minutes or so, or maybe 30 minutes of a little horse time, running around and playing with toys. He's self-entertained, he just goes and plays with whatever he can do. After that, he basically sleeps through the day. And he is crate trained to an extent. When we just got him, he proved himself to be a very versatile senior, from very low keys to very high keys.
Got it.
But we do not do it we don't do it we do not create him all the time just to give him options, and because we have an opportunity, but we create him during the night on and off. We have in the past week and a half created him like 3 times when we were away, and I did not really hear many sounds or at all when we were coming back or when we were leaving. So I call it a big progress, and we will keep working on it. He as I said, he can entertain himself. He is housebroken, and he waits until he is taken out. He's done well in public. Well, we have taken him to the farmers market. He said hi to multiple people, including kids. Of course, we monitor. He is we'll call him a little bit rambunctious, because he sometimes does not know how heavy he is and how excited he is. So we of course do it carefully, but we have observed him with kids of different ages, and he has been fine and friendly, and he loves the butt scratch. And what else? He loves looking out of the window. So, and he loves the sound of pills. We are completing his treatment, and the only thing you need to do is just shake.
Wow, that's impressive.
Everybody runs because they know it's peanut butter time. So
That's great. That's awesome. And do you have any stories that you can share about Thor? You've told us so many wonderful things. Is there anything that comes to mind, like a funny story or something that kind of, sums him up in a nutshell that you can think of?
he thinks he's a lap dog. So sometimes when I work from home, he really tries to get on my lap.
Oh,
It usually goes a little bit awkward because it goes like bottom up. So he tries. One of the funniest things was when I picked him up, I guess, in the car, in the back seat, I had a special dog sort of protective cover. And he was fine for a while, but then he became quiet and disappeared. I didn't see the dog in the back seat, and then I saw his face in between the two front seats, and he squeezed himself on the front seat, and then he calmed down, and I was looking out the window, and everything was fine.
so cute. I love it. Okay, so he's down. Yeah, I think rambunctious is a good word, and curious. I love it. It's so sweet. And
trainable. He might be a treasure if somebody wants to do agility or wants to do this sort of practice. He loves to walk. He would walk with you.
That's great. I think agility is a great idea. That's awesome. And you've sort of touched on this, but what do you think his ideal forever family would look like?
He is very flexible and he's very adjustable. He has proven to be very kind of accommodating, and he listens to us when we too busy. He listens to us when we just stop too much activity with our resident dog. So we are managing that. So.
Oh, I think you just went on mute for a second there, Sasha. Sorry.
Here we go. Yeah, he would probably do better with somebody who loves to train, or who ready to work with him, because he has so much potential.
Yeah.
And to be allowed on the couch because he loves the couch. and maybe not two small kids, because he is a little, that would be because he, as I said, is a little bit like figuring out his weight, and he doesn't know where his paws are occasionally, or he might just you have to monitor him if you have kids, but he would love them. So maybe older kids. If there is another dog, he would be absolutely fine with another dog. Maybe a dog with a matching energy would be better, or a dog could, I have not observed him like in a dog park environment. I cannot say much about it. He shown no signs of aggression. Yeah. He he's curious about dogs. We live in an area where dogs sort of bark from behind the fence. He does not really respond. Yeah, I meant by being a lap dog. That's yeah. I'm gonna stop it right now. So yeah, that is that might be an ideal situation for him. In terms of where to live, he has done well both in the city environment and the sort of slightly more residential areas, quieter areas. So he can be fine anywhere, I think.
That's great. That's so great to know. And before we let you go, and you've been doing such a wonderful job of capturing Thor and showing us him, he's so sweet. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us about him?
I think I've said a lot already.
No, it's been great. It's been such great information.
Yeah, he really loves people. He really loves people, and he loves being with people. And he will be your best buddy and best friend, and he would be very grateful to be by your side. That's
great. Well, thank you so much to you both. For those of you out there who are looking for a new best friend, you can find out more about Thor at cdck.cc/adoptthor. That's THOR. And so sadly, this means that our adoption event has come to an end. I really want to thank all of you who are watching or who will watch in the future, because these will be up on our social media platforms. And I especially want to thank our incredible foster dogs and our wonderful fosters. And I really want to highlight, you've heard our fosters talk about helping their dogs get acclimated and, helping with issues like separation anxiety and reactivity. And it's so wonderful. It really requires a lot of patience and compassion and understanding. So we're so grateful to all of you. And clearly these dogs, are just worth it. They are so incredible. So thank you again. We hope to see you next month, and have a great night.